Happy New Year, dear listeners. This should not be your New Year resolution. And by now, I'm sure you must have subscribed to our channel. No resolution to be made for this. Just hit the subscribe button for now. Today, we are diving headfirst into the world of New Year resolution. We all know the drills. We make grand plans full of excitement and optimism, and then reality hits. We are busy, life gets in the way, and before we know, it's another year gone by. Happy New Year, Rajiv, and Happy New Year to all of you.
Happy New Year to everyone. And yes, I think the most we lie to ourselves
It's on
is on
January
January
1st.
1st.
So,
10
Raj,
resolutions and none to be
yeah,
completed.
right. And I was looking at the popular list of the resolutions that people make. Any guesses for number one?
Weight loss,
Bang on.
because the
Yes,
guilt of eating during the holidays has piled up, and now
right,
you make a resolution to go to the gym
right. So
for
people
3
have,
days.
and then, yeah, weekend, and then this, and then that. So, yeah, we procrastinate on that a lot. Uh, yes, improve fitness is one. Save more money. That's another resolution that people make after getting broke with Christmas gifts or buying on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, all
But
festivals. I think they start from like somewhere in September, October, worldwide. So most of the festivals, they start from that time and then they go on to till almost like February, March. Yeah. But yeah, most of the Western world, yes.
this one, I am very proud that I found it on the list. Reduce stress and improve mental health. And if you remember Preeti, our guest uh, who's from Intel, even she was stressing that, we should take care of our mental health. I'm very proud. Let us know if in our ads we can give reminders about mental health. Take care of your well-being. That is the most important thing. Another is learn a new skill or a hobby.
Mm, yes.
Again, my
Cultivate the
question,
hobby.
yeah, my question is, why do you have to wait for a new year to start that skill?
Exactly.
Keep looking for
For
things
anything.
for
See,
anything,
if you
right?
look at all the resolution,
Yes,
no, you don't need to, this is simply, I would say, a clockwork that has settled and a mindset that, but every year is a new year. Now you can start saying that, okay, my birthday is a new year for me because that's when actually the clock started for me, right? So it's simply that we have started following you know, the calendar, particular calendar, but you don't need to, if you have, and this is where, we can talk about it, but this is where I think it's a mindset of procrastination. We talked about that earlier.
right.
It's like putting off the things that are good for you, but we never put off the things that are not good for you. We never hesitate to have that extra piece of cake. We
And
never
chole
hesitate.
bhature. We pass
or
by the halwai, he's frying
yeah,
samosas.
we look at the
Yeah, the smell is so good. It's okay. One life, we'll die.
one
What's the
extra
harm
donut.
in one
No, my
extra
wife has
donut?
that complaint that always I get the donuts and then I get them a 6-pack donut because then I'm forced to finish it. So, but the main thing is that we don't postpone the things that are bad for us. I feel angry, I will be angry now. I don't say to myself that I will be angry after 1st of January or a
And if we
week.
are laughing too much or if we are happy, we are always like, oh my God, something will happen because we are too happy.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. We tend to postpone the things that are good for us, but we never postpone things that are not good for us. We postpone our happiness. You got some extra money in the bonus. You'll say, okay, I'll save it and we'll do a vacation when I retire, or I will do this when I retire, or I will do this after the kids are done with the college or school, whatever, right? So we keep postponing the joys of our life or the good things about the thing. And that's why I think we end up making resolutions that we never follow.
Another one is spend more time with friends and family. I'm really surprised people make that resolution.
Yeah.
Reason being that there is a good 10, 12 days of off during Christmas, New Year. And after spending so much time with friends and family, they want to make it a part of their new resolution, then they must be doing something right. Because I remember when my husband used to be working from home because it was off for client, but for their office it was not. After 10th day, we would like, please go to
Please.
office. We can't take more. So
Yeah.
I'm very surprised
there's
that even after 10 days, people are okay. God bless you.
I had a coworker at Intel, and he a funny guy. So he once said that, Rajiv, fish and family start stinking after 3 days. So he would always make that statement after the Thanksgiving holidays because people travel, spend 2-3 days with the family, and then there's always something or the other drama happening, and yes, I'm surprised that even after spending the Christmas and New Year with friends and family, I think personally that what happens is that when you're spending the time with friends, during that Christmas, you're partying and all that, you're more relaxed. You get the positive feeling, and then you make a resolution, I should do this more.
Right.
But the thing is that who are these people making the resolution? And then the question is, why don't you do that on a regular basis? Why do you wait for the end of the year to have fun? You can have fun during the entire year. So going back to the same thing, but yeah, it's interesting. What else is on the list?
Travel more. Now it doesn't say with family or solo, but yeah, travel more.
Yeah. I have the resolution that I will travel more if my budget allows.
Good. Another one is quit smoking or less drinking.
But why?
It's injurious to health.
But so is breathing. You will die if you breathe.
True. That is true. Well, another one is read more books, which is again good to know, but again surprising to read Conversations by Rajiv Nanda. And another
Yes.
recommendation is Rise if you're a professional in IT industry, it's on
Yes.
soft skills.
I highly recommend both the
I
books.
highly recommend both.
I highly recommend both the books.
Then another one is volunteering or giving back to the community. Again, this can be done around the year. It's good to have
Yes.
such good resolutions, good intent, and I want people to stick to it. There was a beautiful line that was given by my son that work environment sometimes is not conducive, but when you volunteer, you actually follow your passion, and that gives you
Yes.
a great satisfaction. So
Yes.
yes, do volunteer. And then this one, get organized. Yes, that's why
No
people
can
do
do.
a lot of, yeah, I mean, see, we get this force cleaning or getting things organized during Diwali. Same as with spring in US that you have to do spring cleaning, welcome new season. So yeah, good thing to have it in your resolution, but just stay organized. What's the big deal? But yes, I mean, among these resolutions, I just want to, I don't want to talk about the cliche, improve fitness. Again, it's like we
So
all know, we all know round the year we are
binging.
so
And
binging
then
that by March the statement is like tere baap ka kha rahe. So
no, exactly, exactly.
so yeah, I don't want to talk about that cliche thing, but yes, reduce stress, improve mental health. That is something that I want people to take seriously. We have talked about well-being. We have talked about not just physical, mental, but social health as well. But this is something that I want people to understand that it is an
Yeah,
important part of life.
the question, no, all that is good. The question is, why do we need the resolutions to do things that are good for us? So I have never made resolutions because what I think and believe is that if I'm so stupid to do things that are not good for me, then it is what I am. When very simple, see, you do whatever action you do, think about the consequences of that action. If you are eating that extra piece of cake, you are at that time, you know in your heart and everything that yes, this is not good for me, but you're still indulging in it. You're having that still extra drink. I'm not saying, I do not subscribe to, apart from drugs, I do not subscribe to the thought process that smoking, drinking, or anything, you should do what you think you want to do with full intent and understanding that you are doing it because either you enjoy it or you're doing it because of social pressure. And I'm telling you, you will never overdrink. If you do not like smoking, you will never smoke. Or if you even like smoking, you will never over smoke. You will never over it. The only thing you have to do is be mindful before you act on it. That's the main thing. What happens is that we keep acting on something that we know it is not good for us, and then we end up making a new resolution that we literally break within maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks or a month.
Rajiv, what is that one bad habit that you realized there was a self-reflection and you write a lot, you do a lot of introspection. That what was that one habit that you thought, okay, no more this nonsense. I cannot take this SHIT. What was
See,
that one habit?
procrastination was one that, but there were, see, anything good and bad is relative, right? What is bad for me may or may not be bad for you or somebody else. I used to smoke. And yeah, like I used to smoke, but not a chain smoker. I would, very, very moderate smoking. But then, when my daughter was born, I said, I don't want to have, we were in Austin at that time when my elder one was born. I would never smoke inside the house. So I would step out and smoke. But when my second was born, I said, I think, yes, I enjoy. It's not that I'm not, I still enjoy a cigar once in a while. I still smoke once in a while, but I gave up smoking. I thought that that's not what I want to do because my children will grow up, and no matter what you do, unless we were living in an apartment, right? So unless you are going to shut down everything and not come back, there's a lot of that after smoke smell and everything. I said, no, I don't want to do that. So there are many small little things that, we change in behavior. It's not one or the other. I would not say that smoking was bad for me or good for me. It was something I enjoyed. I still enjoy once in a while. I would love to a friend of mine would travel like 3-4 months, and at that time I would go buy 2 cigars, get some cognac, and we would enjoy, that. I told my children that, when I get old, I want a pipe. Well, I want to smoke pipe. But they gifted me a pipe. It's not that I'm smoking every day. I tried, but I have to learn how to smoke a pipe. So, because, I figured out that I don't know how to smoke a pipe. I tried once. I enjoy my drink.
Yeah, don't make such New Year resolutions that I learn how to smoke a pipe.
I never made. But I'm trying to answer the question that, for me, if I see something that needs to be fixed, I don't wait for the new year to happen. I want to do that the moment I become aware of it. And I think a lot of people, do that. But then there are also a lot of people who make the new year resolution and then never follow through. And I'm always intrigued by that. This is something that we have discussed in our friend circle, okay, what are your new year resolution? And then everybody's laughing and, the same old thing
That
that,
is,
pick
yeah,
2 top 3 in the list that you have. And,
yeah,
but the thing is that, we keep teasing each other that,
it's
okay, how long are you going to follow it?
it's very ironical if I have to reflect this, that we make the resolutions which are same almost every year. Our government, they promise us same thing every 5 years. Where are they coming from?
Exactly.
They're
Same.
part of us only,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
Like you made same commitment last elections as well. How
Yeah.
come? So
Yeah.
yeah,
We follow the same thing. We follow same rituals every day. And this is so you see, I think what happens, and this is a very interesting thing that explains a lot of things around our behavior. The rituals, the religious rituals, the political rituals. We elect the same idiots, and then we complain about the government. See, it is we who are electing. No, the democracy, that's the fundamental thing. This was a discussion that just 2 days ago I had with somebody. And this guy said, hey, all the leaders are corrupt. And I said, okay, then stop voting for them. And he said, yeah. I said, you see, the thing is that we fall in the same trap over and over again. Whether it is political, whether it is corporate, whether it is life, whether it is love, whether it is religion. And this is something because as human beings, we like a routine pattern. And I can guarantee you, everybody can experiment with themselves. Stop following the routine that you have been followed for 5, 10, 20 years. When you wake up, you don't need a cup of coffee or chai or whatever. See? So what happens is that your body and your mind has gotten adjusted to, okay, this is what happens. January 1st, I have to make resolutions. January 15th, I have to break my resolutions. January 30th, I have to complain about breaking my resolutions. So this pattern keeps, and the moment you understand that pattern, you will fall out of it. You will actually be conscious about, okay, I understand this. Now you have a choice whether you want to continue enjoying that roller coaster ride, that's fine too. Or you say, enough of it, let me deviate. Long answer to your short question.
चाय वाली बात नहीं कहनी चाहिए थी. Rest, everything is fine.
Yes, yeah. Don't touch my coffee and don't touch my tea. Yes.
Yes, don't touch my tea. Rajiv, other thing that I want to touch upon is, again, we do not need a New Year resolution for this. Learn a new skill or a hobby. And I think this is very deep rooted, the procrastination part.
Yeah.
If we have to study, we'll think, oh my God, okay, let this needle, it's at 12:40, like it's at 8, let it come at 9. I'll start my studies then. It'll come at 9. Oh, 1 p.m. is my lunch time. I'll finish my lunch and I'll start my studies. After lunch, we all know what happens.
Would go on.
Let me take a nap, like a 30-40 minutes nap, and then you want to have a chai, and then you're like, okay, there's nothing
day is
else.
gone.
The day is gone. Tomorrow I'll be fresh. Early morning, I'll start this. And the circle continues.
Exactly, the pattern.
The
Focus
pattern.
the pattern you follow or the pattern you create. Actually, I think it is more important to understand it's not the pattern you follow, but the pattern you create.
Okay.
Because once you create it, then you follow it. So
Okay.
why is it that you have to wait for whatever the clock? And this is actually a very interesting thing because there was a study that was done in the US about the traffic. Because people tend to leave office, at the 15-minute interval. So to beat the traffic, if you randomly leave between that 15-minute interval, you are likely to beat the traffic. So it was a very interesting study. And that actually was something that taught me about the patterns we create and the patterns we follow. If you're working in your office, and it is 5:05, you'll think, okay, I'll leave around 5:15. You will not leave right away, even though your work is done. So I would say that why do you wait for, let's say 8:40, you want to study, you study. You start studying right there and then. The moment you realize that I have to study. But this is where you have to understand why do I create the pattern and then start following it and then bitch about it, when I fail at the motive of studying or whatever thing, going to the gym or whatever it is.
Travel more. This is an interesting one.
Yeah.
And then again, stuck with long weekends.
But travel
and
where?
Then travel where? Oh, people might be having their own bucket list. I want to travel cross country. I want to see India, explore India. But yes, I mean, then again, we get stuck in this loop that, okay, long weekend, we'll go. And then you figure
It's
out.
the same pattern.
Yeah, and then you figure out tickets are crazy expensive. It's very crowded. It's not worth all that effort.
Extra.
And yes, and I say this to my colleagues, to my team. You get paid leave. That's the only good thing company is giving you. Take it and go.
Because the thing is that, and this is where I find it very interesting. And it's not that much, I think, in the European countries. European countries have been, they never hesitate to take time off during summer or whatever. Whatever happens, right? But I have seen this a lot in Asian cultures. Even actually, I would say even in the US, people hesitate to take time off.
Government of India gives, like my dad used to
forget
get.
about the government. Forget
Yeah,
about the government. I'm talking
No,
about.
they give the allowance for people to travel. They motivate people to travel.
See, not talking about that. We're talking about the incentives. There are incentives to do whatever, right? So we're not talking about that. I'm talking about the psychology behind why people do not take the time off when it is their right. And recently something happened where, one of my team members, he sent me an email saying that, please approve my PTO, pay time off. And I said, why do you need my approval? You just need to inform me and your team members that, hey, I'm planning to take the time off during this and this date. And let me know what other things need to be done. And we will work around it. The PTO is your right. And I was surprised to hear that, people refuse, the managers refuse the PTO of the employees. I think those are the worst. They should be fired right away. If I were their manager, I would fire them right away. I would say that means you have zero respect of your employees' time, well-being, and everything, which actually tells me that you have zero respect of your own time and your well-being, because that is the only thing you're reflecting outwards. But I have seen this fear of taking time off across some cultures, and it has become very prevalent even in the US, where I would, based on I've been there for like 20, more than 30 plus years now. It was never like that. But it has become, I think, over the course of decades, that taking time off or doing something that is good for you gives you a sense of guilt rather than a sense of pleasure. And I think that's a fundamental thing around all this nonsense about resolutions, bucket list, and all that stuff. There should be no bucket list. There should be no resolutions, because you don't know how long you're going to live. Bucket list, you'll kick the bucket, you don't know when you'll kick the bucket, and the list will be in there. And what would you do with that list?
Well,
Heavy
Rajiv,
topic.
well,
I didn't expect it to be
yeah,
the
yes, first
first of
January,
January.
it's getting too much for our listeners. But
But you touched
yes,
upon some
yes,
raw nerves that I have.
I'm sorry, listeners. I'm sorry you have to go through all this on January
Yeah,
1st.
all this nonsense
But
that Rajiv is saying. Yeah. But bear with
but
me.
yeah, but no, we'll bring in the fun element. Don't worry, there's more to come. Read more books we have recommended too. I'll reiterate, Rise
Two
and
books, definitely.
Conversations. You just have to sit, read, and then once you're done, I think in 3 hours you can be done with Conversations. Rise, I really want to.
Depends. No, it depends on if you read them as stories or if you read
Yes,
them. If you read them for entertainment, yes, maybe a couple of hours.
yes. For Rise, I highly recommend make notes with it and then refer to that book over and over
And please
again.
gift the books to everybody you know.
Yes, New
Like
Year
Gunjan
gift.
has done. Like,
Yes, gift it to myself.
yeah.
Uh, Volunteering, we already talked about. Get organized.
Volunteering, actually, let's talk about that. I think
Okay. Yes.
that's something that I personally know I have been very bad about. For whatever reasons, that that I know that it is good. I would want to do that, but I cannot get myself to do it. I cannot get into remember we talked about the armchair activist, right? In this case, I know I am an armchair activist. So I wanted to
Refresh,
inculcate.
refresh our memories, Rajiv. Refresh our
Armchair
memories.
activist is that, you talk about, hey, everybody should do this, this is bad, this is good, you know. So you're an activist, but you're sitting in the armchair and you're just talking about it, not doing anything on the ground. So you want to solve world hunger, but you are sitting, you're not, shelling out a penny, or you're not going onto the field and feeding the hungry. So you're not doing anything about solving the problem that you are complaining about. So that's an armchair activist. So I'm an armchair activist in this area. It's not that I don't want to do this, but somehow it just doesn't happen. But when there is an opportunity to give money or charity, I'm selective. I do give, but I have tried in my children to inculcate that. But this is something I think, if you have that desire, don't make a resolution of it, do it. I think this is one of the most important things that we can do as human beings to the community, the society, and even the group that you are in and everything.
Right. There are schools where people can volunteer, but there is this amazing organization, Big Brother, Big Sister. If you want, you can sign up for that organization. I really cannot recall how it works, but we used to reach out to people and then ask them if they can volunteer as a big brother or big sister for the school going kids. We wanted more father figures because moms were the only uh, tribe they were seeing. So we wanted more father figures. But yes, it's an amazing initiative.
Yeah.
If nothing else, uh, only ask is just spend one day in a month with a kid and just talk to them.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. That's the
Not just
only
that,
ask.
not just that. These days, I would say, at least in Western countries and Western societies, where I'm seeing a lot of old people, that need attention, that need that human company. And this is something that I was discussing with a friend of mine a few months ago. And I said, see, here's the problem. And this is something that I think we were debating, that why people like us don't do it. Somehow, at least in the urban societies, there has been the seed of untrustworthiness. As of today, I walk up to somebody and I start talking. Oh, the other person will totally be unknown. Why? Because 99% of the time, somebody walking to us or talking to us has some hidden agenda that immediately shows up after 2, 3 sentences. So I think what has happened is, which is very, very unfortunate, that reaching out to somebody is being seen as something bad. With all these the good movements, these are the good movements, like you talk about the social justice and all that, equality and everything. There are a lot of good movements happening, but the darker side of the movements is that everybody has become very suspicious of each other. Today, literally, if I want to go and teach, let's say, in India, I know my sister is very good at it, because in India, what she did was that she told, the household help, that she will teach her children. So while the household help, she was, working in the house, she would bring her 2 children, and my sister would teach them English and all that. And over the years, now that girl is consistently, first in her class. She has no ambition to move to Australia, read, study so much so that's a good thing. But now the problem is, today, if I want to do the same, I will never be able to do that, because there'll be so many assumptions that will be there, that why is this guy doing, what is the hidden motive? Why? I think that has become a big problem. But I
Relatable.
would definitely say that, yes, this is something that if you don't make a resolution, just do it.
And you'll be able to sleep peacefully. Mark my words.
Yeah, if you do what you like, you will sleep peacefully. It's not that I don't sleep peacefully.
So, Rajiv, what are the resolutions that you have which
No, I have
are
never
not
made resolutions.
okay? What are those
I,
things in your?
as I said, I have no bucket list. I have never made a resolution.
I know you're working on a book. Can
Yes,
we
but
publish it
that is
in
not a
2025?
resolution. No, it will be. I'm done. Actually, I'm finalizing the script. I have already talked to, a couple of publishers. So
All right,
I don't know when
listeners,
it will be published, but
third book coming for recommendation.
no,
Stay tuned.
seventh book.
Okay, my bad.
No, this is so this
I'm talking about
listeners.
book. I'm not
So
talking about Kindle version.
No,
talking
that is
about
also,
book.
I'm talking about actually 6 and yeah. So 2 business books, 3 business books, and 2 fiction.
One is conversations.
The first one was everything.com.
Okay.
Second one was conversations. My fan number 1, who claims to be my fan number 1, has not read any of my books,
रस्किन
or
बॉन्ड की भी
maybe
सारी
just one
बुक्स नहीं,
story.
मैंने रस्किन बॉन्ड की
And
भी
then the
सारी बुक्स
third
नहीं पढ़ी है.
one, so third one, cloud computing. The fourth one, Rise. The fifth one was a short story, AI.gov, science fiction short story, Kindle version. And the sixth one is I'm working on. There was one book I published, Kindle version, but I deleted that. I was not happy with it. So
Good to know. You have the delete option as well, while in this digital world where you leave so many digital footprints,
I
you
know.
have that delete version.
But yeah.
Yes.
So that's not a resolution. I will do it. But the thing is that yes, if people want to write or whatever you want to do, I would say just start doing it. Don't wait for a date.
Yeah.
If you want
We
to
are
write,
telling this.
so start with one sentence today. You don't need to complete the book in a week. Start with one sentence today, or maybe one paragraph today. You want to go and do, you want to exercise, start with 3 minutes, 5 minutes. Don't wait. See, that's why I'm saying that I don't have a bucket list. Why? Because if I want to do something, either I do it or I don't do it. With very clear conscious decision that, okay, I do not want to do it right now. I never say that I cannot do it. In some cases I do, like I want to fly first class, but I cannot do it. Or a business class, I cannot do it. But no, the main thing is that if you want to do it, start doing it, even a small piece of it. And you will see that, one bit at a time will actually bear results. So there's a very, very interesting equation I saw many years ago, which said 1.1% every day has a compounded effect of 300+% results at the end of the year. 0.99% of effort every day has a minus 35% of results at the end of the year. So just one sentence. You want to write a book, that's fine. Just write one sentence a day. You would have written at least half a book by the end of the year. You want to exercise, just walk 5 minutes a day. Start with that. You will never have to make a resolution about anything.
I heard this quote and I exactly don't remember what it was, but it said that the most deadly combination is that you're highly ambitious and you're lazy. So
Yes, exactly.
I want to pause on this note. It's a new year. We want people to have fun and not just listen, but work on it, work on yourself. It's a great gift that you give to yourself. Rajiv, this is getting heavy. Let's close it. Closing comments from your side.
Well, I will repeat the couplet I have used often. खुशियों के पीछे भागते हो पर गम का दामन छोड़ते नहीं.
It's just like fitness के पीछे भागते हो पर छोले भटूरे छूटते नहीं.
Exactly. That is exactly New Year resolutions for you.
Thank you, friends. Thank you so much for listening. Do visit our website, thelielama.com, THELIELLAMA.com. Do leave us a comment. Let us know what you've accomplished last year in 2024. What were your accomplishments? And let us know if you want to be a guest on our show. We'll be more than happy to host you. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you.